Oh Lord. Okay, so sorry about best intro. Okay. 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 So two things. One, Gumi's already fucking up again. Like we just had this issue with the Blossom tickets and the Bloom tickets. So I don't know. Like Gumi, come on. Come on, Gumi. But currently I don't know what else we can do. We don't have any other info. Um Oh, awesome! We got Caliburn. And no joke, Caliburn is actually really freaking good. So I actually am pretty surprised, mostly because a lot of the grinding is very difficult to do. So it's actually pretty good. Now, one thing I want to say is Merlin isn't terrible as we thought he was. Okay. Now I'll explain why in a moment, but let me just see. No, okay, so we still don't have their unit details. Now, this is the team I used to get, the 60 million damage on Merlin. Now, why do I use also you want to have Azurai as a friend leader. Why do I say that? Because his multipliers are pretty good for his BBS and his SBB, but he just needs that extra bit of power, so I gave him both the spheres. Um But this is what I set my Merlin up for. Now, I only give him HP Restoration because I'm going to use him as support, basically, because if I run Merlin, I'm not going to be running Gasolina because I'll be running Lancelot. And again, there's a lot of different effects that Merlin has. Now, like I mentioned before, it's actually a very smart idea to get 90% boost to attack and then 90% boost to max HP because he gets more attack based on his max HP. He gets more attack, makes him stronger. Elemental damage, that's a must. Raise attack parameter limit. If you have Magnificent Aegis, you don't need the. I hate to keep saying Magnificent Aegis, but if you have Magnificent Aegis, you can save the 10 SP. You just give him that save 10 SP. My Merlin actually has Brave Shadow. I give him Brave Shadow because I wanted more damage. And well, most importantly, you want him to deal more damage because that's what he seems to be good at. Because he, attack, critical hit rate of dark types, critical damage, and elemental damage. Now he's actually still really good, regardless. Um, Again, I gave him the enhancing to the barrier effects, and then I gave him the DOT enhancements because he seems to be more based on that kind of a thing. Now, I know it's really weird. Like I gave Merlin HP restoration. That's because the Lancelot, I believe, has a heal on Spark, which is pretty weird. But I wanted to give Merlin heal, well, HP restoration per turn because that's actually a better investment. Now, again, yes, Lancelot has this. Now, I didn't want to give Lancelot that because I went to figure, it was like, okay, what else am I really going to use that for? So there's that. And also, mainly because Lancelot has a bunch of other effects that I kind of want to see if I can pair together with, like, Merlin and other units. Now, I've not tested Merlin's leader skill pairing it up with Randolph and Ravenna or Omni and Niami because I really don't know if. Well, his leader skill isn't terrible, but it's not good. Because he's a very weird leader. You know, dark, light, and fire types for the parameter boosts, and then he doesn't really do much else. But then he has damage reduction when Photon Scepter is equipped, and then 15% boost all parameters for all allies, and then raise attack for 3 turns after activating Overdrive and raises some normal hits. Now, having Merlin with that extra, boost to attack for all allies when you activate an OD or an Overdrive, that's really good because again, it's more attack and boosting normal hits. That can actually help you out in normal attack methods. Now, I haven't tested out the normal attack method, using Merlin's extra attacking, option to really, enhance that. So I think my other good normal hit person is Savia. I did at one point have 2 Savias, but I got rid of one because I just wanted to, free up a bit more space, and I had no room for a 6-star Savia. So it really then just became like, what do I use? But maybe if I did test out the normal hit method, maybe he'll become even better, but I'm not entirely sure. Now, yeah, his sphere is pretty OP, giving him reduction to BB gauge. Pretty good stuff. But again, I have no clue, how much everything else is. Need to plus in my Savia, yeah. I probably, well, another thing is you can have other options, like you don't need HP restoration. If you want to use him as a leader, I'd actually recommend getting this skill. The reason I don't have this skill is because I'm actually going to wait till I get my Merlin 2+3, give him this, or possibly do a reset, and then give him another Magnificent Aegis, and just save an extra 10, so I can get other things like these two, because, getting him the +2, we'll give him the +3, that gives me, well, sparing this, gives me another good amount to either get one of these skills. Then we can, finish out with other skills. Now, again, I don't know why he has recovery if there are no units that do mana bubble or, a certain barrier based on your recovery. But I guess the reason why he has that is for heal. But again, it doesn't make that much sense for Merlin to have a heal. So that's why I don't recommend getting that. I only did that because I was like, what skills do I need that would help my, team? So there's that. Another thing, we still don't have Morgana. I think, yeah, no, I keep referring to the news a lot, but I do think we'll be seeing Morgana sometime later, as in probably midway through one of these summons. Midway through this summon, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe when, I don't know, because, see, this is the weird thing. We don't know when we're getting Morgana. Now, what they do to Morgana is completely, again, beyond our control for the global stuff. But we don't know how they're going to change Morgana, because Merlin was changed. Merlin pretty much had a complete rework, and, it was really weird. Now, I guess I can go back and keep trying to get Mechani Shell. Also, I'm going to need the other bones and the other stones, because I need to make Carnage Edge. I can't remember. I've just gotten so lazy. I just don't want to remember stuff at this point. And later on, I might actually do more stuff regarding Summoner. I might actually try to level up a little bit. Because if anything else, I don't really give a shit about Summoner Robe. If anything, I just want Ortis. That's the goal, is Ortis. Because as soon as I get that, that becomes really, really easy. I just summon, resummon, the resummon. Ooh, on the resummon gate. Oh, jeez. Summon on the one in the regate. Let me you resummon. Ooh, which one should you resummon? I mean, it lets you resummon for most of the Earth units that you should be getting. It should be mostly Earth Omni units. So pretty much any unit that's not Sergei Serge, whatever his name is. Any unit besides him is decent, is fair game. Now, what is it? There's another unit, Lanza. Lanza's really good. If you get Lanza, try to get him in Anima or Guardian. I'm not entirely sure. I think Anima would be highly preferred. Draenel's began very good. Hanoka's decent because Eleanor or Lara. Ooh. Resummon Lara because she's not really that useful. Eleanor you can at least still use to some extent. If you don't have Alzamasta, Eleanor can kind of, sort of cover. So resummon Lara, that's what I'm saying. I have like zero idea what I'm talking about, but I don't know. I forgot what Lara does. All I know is that Eleanor is elemental mitigation. If I'm not wrong, I do think that she's just elemental mitigation. That's the other thing. I do think Merlin would be good if you put him in summoner missions. You know, if you had him on your summoner team, I think he'd be really good. But it's just everywhere else, I don't see Merlin really being used. Unless you were doing what I did and you run Arthur, Crash Belt, Merlin, Lancelot, and pretty much the fifth spot can be the fifth and sixth spots. Well, the fifth spot can be taken by pretty much any unit, and then the last, your friend lead, can pretty much be taken by any unit. Well, any unit that's not like parameters based on like the gender of units, because that would just become weird. Because then you'd have to, so no Beatrix leads for that whole squad, because it then just becomes kind of messed up. So again, highly recommended if you just put like, if you want to do what I did, just slap a good old Earth units, Ariana, Rosalina, sorry, Fan Fang, Mordlim, and Hisui. Yeah, they're all still pretty good. Hisui's actually surprisingly still a decent mitigator. Mordlim's still really good. Ariana's really good as a multi-buffer and all that other stuff, I think. And Rosalina's good for healing and all that other hoo-and-ha. She's a really good support. Fan Fang, really good for BC drop rate. Really good because they have double element attack. So, a lot of these units are really nice. I wish we had like a summoner item drop rate boost without me having to bring things like my Zone Light, which I don't have my grass leveled up enough. I don't know. Should I work on leveling up my elements, or should I work on my summoner level? I don't know. Again, kind of hitting like a mountain of speed bumps. And I already mentioned that they ported Aura Kingdom to the phones, so there's not much else left to say there. Oh, speaking of Aura Kingdom on the phone, I'm having a lot more luck on there than I was on the actual fucking computer version. Resemi gets sixth. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. I hate to say it, Gumi needs Blackgate guaranteed. Like, we need summon gates that have Blackgate guaranteed. You don't have Lauren. You should have said, like, oh my lord. Oh no. I mean, I don't think, if I can't remember what she does, she's probably not that great. I'm just saying. But, no joke. Next time you don't have a unit, just let me know if you've done anything. What's this? Yeah, I was looking at the Europe stuff. Sorry. Something weird happening. Hmm. 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 Okay. This is interesting. Oh. Oh. Okay. Spoiler alert. Okay. So a bit of a Europe storyline. Spoiler alert. In the Siegfried Academy, everybody dies, and those are my headphones blaring a freaking music. One thing I do like though is that at least in here, because now you actually see like what happens after. Now another spoiler warning. Um. Oh jeez. Okay, so spoiler warning. Not only does everybody die, but you meet a bunch of other units that were from past things and stuff. That and all the units are pretty freaking cool in this. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, another good thing is that they have we have Adriesta in Europe. It's pretty cool. Again, they made her, incredibly powerful. Like that's that's the thing is like units that we think work in Europe really don't work when they come to global, but then global finds a way to make them work. Like for a while, the meta in Europe was spark well not sparks, it was critical and mitigation. In global, it was just normal hits. So Azrai's really good. He's a really good hitter, really good hard hitting unit. Very powerful, especially since they buffed him. They gave him a buff. Then later on, we'll be seeing Niami and Nyala get a buff. So if you get Azurai, I still recommend keeping him. Maybe get one or two of him because he's really good. And pure catastrophe and mayhem over here. What about Valen, Rugal, And Adriesta. Adriesta, not really that great. Rugal, kinda good. Valen, he's one of the other few fire mitigators. A few Omni fire mitigators. We only have a little bit. I know we have Amos, she's a mitigator. We have Rain, he's also a mitigator. And I believe Ludero is a mitigator. Valen is a mitigator. So getting a fire mitigator is really good. So if you get Valen, I'd recommend keeping him. Rugal and Adriesta, it's really up to you. They're not really... Okay, they're not terrible, but they're not like a must-have unit. A good fire must-have unit, I guess, would be the sphere unit dude, Zegestia or Zegstia or something like that. The guy with the big sword thing, axe kind of. Amos is best, then Rain. Yeah. I mean, Shadowpix is not wrong. Amos has a lot of buffs. And pair her with Segard, the light unit dude. I think that's his name. And you pretty much have a bunch of other buffs that you can get. So pretty much the ranking of mitigators would be Amos, Rain, Ludero, then Valen. Valen was released the latest, not the latest, but the earliest. And then our most recent fire mitigator is Amos. Rain is limited edition, so we can't get him anymore. So pretty much it narrows it down to Amos, Ludero, and Valen. So I still recommend Amos. We all recommend Amos. Oh boy. Well, what a what an interesting way to end the wonder story of everything here in the Europe of the Siegfried Academy, in a great way. Ooh, that's nice. I'm like looking everywhere but when I'm supposed to be looking, which is up on the screen. But no, this is really cool. We get a gem. Sweet. And that's it. Okay. Your typical ending. Everyone dies. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Everybody dies, except for except for a few sections of units, and those are Enoroth. Because all we know is that we know that all the Enoroth units are alive. We know that all the Soulbound Saga units are technically immortal gods, because they're all based on the Greek gods, I think. The Greek and Roman gods. So, that's weird. And then obviously, the whole story of, the Neo Avalon pretty much follows the whole tale of, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. And the Mirror World, or the Rift. And yeah, Adriest the Galardon units are still alive. Guild Raid units, they're all dead, I think, because they were all the dead commanders of old factions that were in like the Orbion region, which is like uncharted land, and we're fighting on the basis of factions for these commanders that we have no idea who they are. The Rift units, the Convergence units, most of them are alive. We're talking Europe now, so all the convergence units. So units like Avalhuez, Cedric, Luxem, those are all still alive. As we know it, they're all still alive, but they're just all of them are alive but Luxem because Cedric had to evacuate the rift because there was like an intense fight between Luxem and then the reverse 6 heroes. Xenon and them got a reboot because of Elena. Yeah. Pretty much the entire story behind what happened with Xenon and Estia. Xenon, Estia, and Grant is pretty much that Elena rewound time so that she could go back to the events of the Unholy Tower and try to save Xenon and Estia from dying. And, well, dying from the curses they had. But in the 7-star story, she failed on doing that and pretty much was stuck in the past Elysia. So it was weird. It's weird. Lots of weird crap. But then it was way, way later on that other crap happened. And another unit that we technically don't know the fate of. I mean, okay, there's a few units we just don't know the fate of, and that's Mifune and all the Vortex, well, not all the Vortex arena units, but all the arena heroes units. Those are like, Eleanor, Janice, Zeku. Technically, we don't know what happened to them, so, because all their stories are like, oh, they got sucked in the rift. They just got pulled into the rift as soon as the arena collapsed. Like, they were just drawn in, never to be seen again. So I was like, great. And then we know Mifune is pretty much kind of possessed by the demon sword. And you actually get to see that in the, if you've played Brave Frontier 2 and you've played the Samurai Road of Mifune, you actually see the demon sword kind of slowly take over Mifune. And he slowly becomes like immortal, kind of, because you fight. Mifune actually goes into this moment where he fights himself. Well, basically, you fight Mifune, possessed by the demon sword, and it becomes really weird. Like, it's really weird. But yeah, all the 10-wing tormentor units, they're dead. The Dysnomians, they're all dead for the most part. And then there's the Guild Raid summon units. The Guild Raid summon units aren't really dead, or aren't dead for the most part, because they're the new generals they're like the new commanders of that region. So it's really weird. Really, 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 really. And the shapeshifters and shapeshifter hunters are, again, semi-immortal, but shapeshifters can't be killed. Only the shapeshifter hunters can kill the shapeshifters. It's weird. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. Everybody in the Badlands, so like Natalame and all those, Gasolina, they're all dead. There are a lot of units that are dead. Like, that's weird. It's like every unit in the game is like mostly dead. Like 99% of them are just fucking dead. So that's weird. The God Spheres, they're technically immortal. Remember, the God Spheres, we're talking like Heaven's Edge, Amadream, Dalthisk. They're technically immortal. They don't have a life because they were born from the essences of the spheres. So I'm gonna say it again, it's weird. Like, I'm not even joking when I say it's really, really messed up and weird that all the sphere units aren't necessarily dead. And then there are the Sphere founders like Darvin Scholl, Peony. They're all dead. But the only other thing we do know is technically if we had Exo as a unit in Brave Frontier, not Brave Frontier 2, but just in the regular game, technically Darvin Scholl would not be dead. If only Exo was actually a unit, that would validate more that Darvin Scholl was not dead until after the War of the Gods. Because technically, technically, I believe it goes along the lines of Exo blessed Darvin Scholl's weapon. She blessed his sword, his shield, and then his armor to make him pretty much invincible. And then after that, like he was like, you know, fighting in the War of the Gods, and he was like, you know, beating the shit out of people who were trying to invade the Baruya, I think. I don't know. So he was, you know, trying. Jeez, I'm still low. Like, okay, Phantom of the Kill Japan. P.S. You will run out because here's the thing. The one good thing is that in this version they tell you you're low in combat power, and if you don't have, you know, X number of units, you're pretty much fucked. Like they tell you like your unit power is low, you know, power up or get fucked. Like that's pretty much what they're telling you. So I mean, I like that, but it's like it tells me that all the freaking time. Like we don't need to know this. Like you could just let me figure it out. But I guess that is nice. That is nice letting you know. And the reason why Phantom of the now people are gonna really go crazy on wonder why Phantom of the Kill Japan doesn't have a gacha like system. Well, the big problem with Phantom of the Kill versus Brave Frontier is that in Phantom of the Kill there aren't buffs. There are no buffs. And most of the gear you get in Phantom of the Kill is all free to play, is all free gear. Basically, you get it from running the raid slots, you get it from completing missions, you get it from just doing the tutorial. You get tons of weapons and armor that it essentially renders running a gacha for weapons and armor pretty much useless. That, and if you spend like if you start the game, you can get like a bunch of free units. You get 10 free units, and then every day you get 10 free units. So you can essentially trade in those units, get rare medals, go to the shop, and then go to the gacha thing, and then you can get a bunch of high level weapons for pretty much nothing. So technically, that's not a combo gacha. It doesn't technically fall under those lines, albeit it could be interpreted that way. The only problem then becomes is why is it in Brave Frontier but not in there? And that's because in Brave Frontier, each unit is part of a series of buffs. Technically, if you throw away the unit art, throw away the pixel art, and you look at the bare numbers, the units are buffs. Like right now, Lancelot, he has a certain thing he does, and he does one thing better than another. So I don't know. No, I did get a new phone. I could run Phantom of the Kill and get awesome tier thing. You're gonna have to get the Japan version though, because the global version is shutting down very soon. And by I mean very soon, I'm talking in a couple of months. You're talking about 1 to 2 months till the game shuts down. And in global, it's only up to chapter 10. But it's only up to chapter 7, which there's about 11 chapters in the game. So you can tell, you know, you can pretty much tell where the problem was. You know, the, it's you know, there wasn't enough support. You know, people didn't really do much on it, so that's a problem. That's a bit of a problem. So And also another good reason why I recommend getting the Japanese version is you get, when you start the game, complete the tutorial, you get 10 free units and you can resummon. So essentially you could resummon until you get good units. Now, I don't know a lot about Phantom of the Killer's units and how the system works, but I can tell you a few things from the global version that I know. And that's I think Saika has a very good skill because she has, if you get her to the 6-star Saika, she actually has a very, very good skill. How good is Omni Zonelight? Omni Zonelight, if you don't have another good unit, yeah, Zonelight, yeah. If you don't have a good unit with BC HD drop rate, or if you just don't have another good BC buffer unit, he's really good. And he's still pretty good today. The reason I just don't use him is because this is summoner mode and the stats are different. Like the stats are, debuffed until you get to a certain level. So I'd still recommend keeping Zonelight. He's really good. And I don't know. He's just really cool to have. Zonlight's awesome. Eh. I mean, I'm thinking this from. I mean, honestly, though, I'm thinking of this from a new person's perspective. If you don't have Xian or Rogue Leeser, or Fan Fang for that matter, if you don't have one of those 3 units, what female? I don't understand. Oh, you're talking about Fizz. Fizz is all right. I mean, not gonna be completely downing and depressing, but Fizz, Fizz is all right if you don't have a good overdrive filler. Again, if you don't have Xian, if you don't have Gaultier, if you don't have any other unit that has OD fill, just plain old overdrive fill, she's good to have. But if you have someone like Xian, if you have someone like Gaultier, if you have one of those overdrive fill units, then Fizz isn't really necessary, but still pretty good to have. Now again, I can't use probably not best to trust me because I just have a bunch of units sitting in my inventory that I barely ever use. So I mean, oh good. My new Leviatine has been completely maxed out. The account from a friend because he stopped playing because he has other things. Okay, I mean, if you were just given the account, I'd still recommend one thing. That's if you haven't if you're not paying to play, if you're not pay to play, it's recommended that you pretty much keep most of the units you get until you start making tons of gems. And when you start making tons of gems, fill up a little bit of your unit spaces, fill a little bit of your item spaces, and then I'd actually highly recommend doing all that other stuff and just consulting things. Yeah. Again, for like Shadow Pixel saying, normal attacks Raysus or Camilla for overdrive, Alanon, Xian, or any unit with 8 to 10% immediate OD fill. Not OD fill rate, not OD fill boost, not OD fill rate, OD fill. Now, OD fill boost and OD fill rate and OD fill are weird. You send me an image. Post it on Imager because that's the only way I can really see all this crap. if you have Imager, because there's no real other medium I have for this. But you know what? Before you send me anything, let me send you to a website that might help you out. Copy link address. Let me. Yeah, just go there. That's the site I use sometimes. And that's like a way, because this actually tells you a lot of cool stuff. Like, go on that website. This is for the global version, okay? So it'll, sync all the data for every unit imaginable in this. You don't know what you need? Well, let me let me say 3 units you need. Well, let me say a few units you need. You need a mitigator, so that's somebody who has a you need somebody that's like a mitigator. You need somebody that has, 50% damage reduction for 1 turn or 50% damage reduction for 2 turns. So, for example, those would be units like Hisui, Valen, Amos, pretty much any unit that has 50% damage reduction. Next up is you're going to need a healer. So those are units like Alimo. And Alimo can also fill the spot of being a mitigator if you don't have a mitigator. Now, she's a bit weird to use because she's mainly supposed to be a supportive healer unit. Now, she does do other effects as well. She gives water barrier, which is not it's not like what new units are getting, but this is different. When you get a water barrier, it's technically a portion of defense that just absorbs damage. That's all it does. I don't know if I'm really wording that correctly or if I'm really wording that mechanic correctly. Yeah, Regil, Amos, Shion or Alanon, Claria, and Fan Fang. Those units right there are really good. Also, Alan. There's a guy who's just named Alan. If you get him, keep him. Alan, while not being on par with what Regil has, but he does a lot of interesting things. I think he has, damage over time reduction. He has negates critical and elemental damage. So technically, you're saving a lot more if you just save up some units that you get. And if you have them, I mean, I guess you can post them via hold up. Let me fix a little something here because fuck it. Terry's pretty good for Coliseum and Arena. Let me do one thing here. I'm gonna be tearing apart a lot of the stuff I've been doing recently. Alan, he's interesting. Yeah, fuck it. Okay. I'm pretty much beat down also. Okay. Yeah, I'm also doing something real fast. Yeah. Well. You know what? Let me do something else here. I pretty much have me beat now. Select all videos. Description. Move. Now I'll click on a video. And like the only thing now. Screw the Patreon now. I guess I'll just leave the Patreon thing in some live streams, and then when I'm closing it out, I'll just get rid of it. How's that? There we go. Okie dokie. What's I need to go to Summoner Lab. And then you just start up that dungeon. Can I try the battle hall? I don't think I have any energy left. Yeah, I don't have any energy left. Who in here thinks I could do the battle hall 4 if I got more gems? Summoner level. Summoner EXP times 2. I like this. I like this a lot. How many of you really do think that I could tackle Battle Hall 4? Because, I mean, I was able to get through 1, 2, and 3. They weren't that hard. I only got killed like a million times. I could. It's super easy now with Ultra Serum Boost. Yeah, but we're looking at a guy who just has Lupine Mantle. We're looking at a dude who has Lupine Mantle. I mean, maybe if I found somebody with Ultra Boost, and then I got my Mechani Shell going, I guess. I don't know. Oh my lord! I'm actually gonna do that next whenever. Oh wait. Oh, that's right. I remember I was supposed to start working on the Cards Against Humanity cards because we were gonna have a big. That's right. Whoopsies. That's a problem. Whoops. So yeah, I'm gonna need to get back to making those cards. I mean, we already have a bunch of good cards. I'm gonna spoil some cards, if that's okay. Is everybody all okay with me minorly spoiling some cards for the Cards Against Humanity stream? Because these cards are gonna be kind of mixed in with the original box. Okay, take that as a yes. Yeah. Forgot how low my chair back was set. Also, the only thing I'm happy about currently is there's now a level 100 Leviatine, and I have the right Leviatine for it. So I'm really happy. Because I think that all went down like a couple of days ago. I actually need to evolve my other Leviatine here. Yeah, we don't have anything. Okay, me. Yeah, that's a problem. Oh, yeah, cool. Cool. I have no idea what any of this says. cannot read a damn word. Let's hope I get more good units from the free summons. Shoot. The hell are you? I don't know who you are. Who cares? Ugh. This chair is tiny. Okay. See if I can run any of these dungeons. This mission. No idea what any of this says. Right now, I'm just assuming that I know everything. Oh, quite the Aussie. Like Tearfing. Like. True, true, true. Oh, yes. I'm trying to get like a mission done, and then there's like a huge wall of Leviathans. I'm back. Terry is good for mitigate damage. He's not necessarily good for mitigation damage. He's really good for Coliseum. He's good for Coliseum and Arena because he's, he has really, really good attacks. That and you see him everywhere in the Coliseum. I just don't like Terry because he's so common in the arena that it drives me up a wall. Yes, I get it. Keeping my account secure, Twitter. Don't care. Just want to fucking see if all I want to see is I want to see is if Brave Frontier Global put out anything new. And also the one thing I like is when you get the max level for Leviathan or Tearfing, they get a gold emblem. They get like a gold because each unit has like a small, like little wing thing underneath them. So the two units that can get like maxed out to 100 get gold, like get little gold wings and stuff. I like these little accent things. It's really cool. I really want to have another King of Fighters freaking collab. They need to make a new King of Fighters ASAP because I need I need units. I need my Shiranui for reasons. This isn't weird. This isn't weird. Leona. I'm not I'm not going to ever go back to that fucking Leona summons. Okay? That was another summon gate that I got, super salt with. Okay. That was like on par with your 60 summons for Xenon. Okay, that was on par. Only the fact that I did about 40 and then I decided to say fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore. So yeah. Oh, it's right, I was gonna bet. Rip. Ripu. Now, hang on, let me get... Oof. Okay, let me make an again. Because... the first time I tried doing something like this, it didn't really work at all. Going to never expire. You didn't use the copy button. Copy. And boom. Okay, reopening the Discord. Need to keep rerunning this damn dungeon. Just give me what I need. Wait a minute. I think I'm running the wrong dungeon. Oh my lord. Boop. Summoner arc sucks. Yeah, we all can agree on that. I really hate Summoner arc. Really, should we all hate leveling up in the Summoner arc? artist though, yeah, probably gonna be less than 120 something by the end of all this. You know what we need to bring back from the dead? Achilles. I still remember when that was the shit back in like back when I was like a little kid. I remember that was the shit. Uh, and that's how everybody then like looks at me like I'm crazy. Oh boy. The weapons have been fixed. I mean, I still remember leveling up all my elements in this. The elements were pretty quick, but oh well, getting dark was actually pretty easy. But doing everything else is just kind of boring. Get Ortis, put it on Merlin. Yeah. Ooh, you know what I can do? Get one. All these dungeons seem to run very quickly in Phantom of the Kill and in here. Really good. Except when I'm lazy and don't really feel like doing much. Okay, level 119. I think I can actually go back and farm for the evil eye I can use to make some occult treasure. I can only make one occult treasure, but that'll be one more mission off on the huge bucket list. So there's that. Let me look up evil eye brave frontier. Yeah, I hate to say it, but getting the evil eyes is a pain in the ass. Getting evil eyes be a ooh. This is a 10% on the claws, and that's just terrible. Okay. But yeah, I just want hate to say it, but I just want to get like a bunch of cool collab videos out. That'd be awesome. Because again, as Shadowpixel mentioned today, as soon as Estia pops out, and whenever I have free time and money, we'll be able to do those summon videos. Oh boy. Also, that's going to be a royal pain because we know it's not going to be easy. we know this. So one of us, two of us, or one of us, or both of us are just going to be completely fucked. Again, if we get Estia in a very short amount of summons, that would be amazing. But I don't see that happening because this is Gumi. Then they don't really like us. Let's be real here. PTSD from Xenon summons. Just like whenever you hear the word summon gate, it like gives you like war flashbacks. Oh my god. That's funny. Funny but true. But most importantly, it's one of those things where you're like, you kind of expect just to be able to get the unit very quickly. Okay, cool. I'll check all your stuff. Okay. Let me see here. Huh. Okay. Have Sigurd. Zephyr. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh wow, you have all the fallen gods. Okay, I didn't know you had all the fallen gods. All the gods from the strategy zones. Um Ooh, hang on. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, so that's moderately unexpected. Um, you have most of the good free units. I mean, you have all of them actually. So, um, uh, mm, mm. Okay, team building, and we also let me. Yeah, he already got all the free to play stuff. That's really good. Like that is really good. Now, next time, please, if you have any, I'm not gonna get rid of these. But next time you have any Brave Frontier stuff, please put it in under the mobile games tab in Brave Frontier. Again, this isn't. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm not going to get rid of this stuff because I want to look this over. But just saying for future reference, I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be too critical. So let me think. I don't know a good team because it's very difficult. Um. Huh. You have Valen. You have Valen. Okay. So if you're using it on your phone, if you're using Discord on your phone, I don't use Discord much. Okay. So if you're on your phone, um, top left corner, there's like three little bars. You click that, and then you can scroll on the side. And I have individual tabs for each group of games. So we have the major text channels, we have console, we have mobile, we have extra content, and we have the bots, and then we have everything for live streams. The mobile games tab is the largest. So, and the Brave Frontier one, it's the first button that you see. So when you click on that, it takes you right to the Brave Frontier stuff, and you can start posting in there. But geez, a good team comp. Let me try to build a good team comp here by opening up a million different tabs, trying to find. Whoa. Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not getting rid of this stuff because I need to see these units to make a team. And hey, it's better you post it in general because I was looking at my general tab. So if anything, you actually kind of helped out a little bit. Really cool. Really cool. Now let me make sure. Ooh. So until the GitHub loads, let me. Okay, so I'm gonna be running on Alza, on an Alza lead, and now I'm gonna use that. Let me check. Hmm. No Shion. Okay, no Shion. Not a problem because we have. Let's see. Hmm. Uh-huh. Okay. Alrighty, here. Let me check every bit and piece you got. Huh. Let me see here. Who else to add? There's one unit left, so I guess we'll add that unit. Okay. Wrong one. Whoopsies. Wrong unit. Okay, let me look. Let me check. Okay, so a team, you know, helping me build multiple teams. Okay, now, okay. The first team I have is pretty much a sort of kind of general purpose team. Now, this is also lead. They're going to have also master lead. Then you want to have Omni Cardes. Then the Filian. You want to get rid of Omni. You want to have Azurai. You want to get him to Omni. And then Felis. Felis is already Omni, so that's the first squad. Actually, let me go over here because this seems to be more interesting to me now. Whoa, my other screen's too bright. I'd like to build the team solely for Azurai. Okay. So let me get the short URL for these. I'm just going to copy that so I can just save it for... Oops, that's the calculator. Why did I open up the calculator? I'm stupid. Whoopsies. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to be building a team based on Azurai as leader. So with Azurai as leader, you need high octane, high damage dealing units. Let me see. I think Zephyr. Is Zephyr... Is Zephyr Omni good? Hmm. All element. Okay, and this is something that I have based on Azurai. I'm not sure if any of these teams are good, mostly because I just don't have Zephyr Omni. So when I get my Zephyr, or if I ever get my Zephyr, I will test all these teams out. So that was the other team for all that. Yeah, it's all really cool stuff. And it's actually really good because now I can look at my Leviatine and see what I need to evolve her. There we go. What else does Leviatine need? Okie dokie. Let me see if I can actually get one of the bundles that I can use to actually evolve a unit with. The special, yeah, one of the special bundles that we can get, I think. I think we can still. Special shop open? No. That's all different stuff. And jeez. Minorly spooked because I didn't know where that noise was coming from. Turns out that was Phantom of the Kill. Let's see if I can build in a team with Azrai. Yeah. The team. Whoops, it didn't save any of the units. Oh no. Oh, never mind. Never mind, there we go. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore all those because I have no idea what each unit is. But yeah. One of the teams, I'm not sure if this is really any good. Because again, I don't have Zephyr. So we'll give you a minute or two to look at that stuff while I try to continue doing more Phantom of the Kill. Trying to crank out a few more dungeons. Okay. There you go. I'm gonna get another Konosuba collab in this. Only because it was Megumin. And a long, long time ago, I had Megumin. I am sad because I no longer have Megumin. I mean, like when I lost the first Phantom of the Kill Japan account, I was kind of mad. A man can have many waifus. A man can have many waifus. We all know best character in Konosuba is Megumin, though. We all can agree on that. The second character That was Lilith. I believe. Meh. Yeah, you have Lilith. All the units that I make the teams out of are units you already have. So the team I'm suggesting with the Azurai lead is Azurai, Lilith, Zephyr, Karna, and then Ezra. That's my sort of kind of suggestion. I'm not sure if that's a real any good team out there, but you know, somebody can check for me because I have no clue. Megumin. We all like Megumin. Megumin's best grill. Can you show me the best team I can build now? The best team? I don't know. The best team. That's sort of kind of a weird question because I'm not like. I mean, I was gonna make a video on team building in this game, but like I have no idea what, you know, most of the units do. So most of the time I build teams that have overlapping effects. But like that's the weird part is that I don't know every single unit. Like it might seem like I know all the units in the game, but I really don't. Um Again, most of my information comes from that website because that's the big spot where I go to check every unit. Megumin. Yeah, no, I would love to see that. Like if Megumin had like if we got a Konosuba collab in Brave Frontier, that'd be hilarious. If friggin' we had a Konosuba collab here, that would be amazing. Because you would get Megumin and her UBB would be like the dumbest thing ever. Like it would be like a really, 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 really ridiculous, you know, ridiculously high and powerful attack, but you can only use it once. Like an ability that I was thinking of for a long time, like if we ever made a unit that, you know, was based off of like, you know, like Megumin or some other mage character that was like really freaking powerful. One thing I was thinking was like overdrive burn, which like locks overdrive. But after like 5 minutes of thinking, this is a terrible idea. So yeah, I immediately was like, hey, this is good. No, it's not. So if we don't get Konosuba collab, I'm not gonna be depressed, but it's like if we do, that would be hilarious if we got Megumin. And overdrive burn would be a pain to get through because it would like shut down overdrive. Because again, this is Megumin we're talking about, and the ridiculousness that is Konosuba is always prevalent. You know, Aqua has like, godlike stats, but only worked on party skills. And then Kazuma wasn't really that keen on doing much of anything, and his steal effect, let's say, it wasn't really the best. Uh, it didn't really actually take anything useful. So, ooh, darkness was just weird, and then Megumin just explosion. uh, oh yeah, that's right. I mentioned on Friday that I was gonna be. Well, I mentioned sometime last week or this week that I would be doing the Doki Doki, one of the newer mods that came out. It's not a brand new day part 12, because the part 12 was complete bait. um like, I'm not even joking, like when I got played, because this was during the time I think I was doing like the third or fourth installment of me making the game, and I got completely heckin' bamboozled. Can you beat the Merlin event? Yeah, you can beat the new Merlin event. Again, just bring a mitigator. You don't necessarily need a taunter, you just need a mitigator. So as long as you have a mitigator, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, Merlin's event isn't that difficult. They called it the ultimate challenge in Europe because originally, I think this is also a bug, but I think that they really messed up, because in this event, Merlin is actually supposed to attack first. And because Merlin doesn't attack first, really, really, really damages the balance of the game. Because Merlin is not supposed to be an easy character to fight. He was supposed to be super difficult. That's why when I mentioned yesterday that in the European version, I went back into this, a Dark Ritual, and I could not beat Merlin because I had the best units and I can't beat him in the European version. But in Global, I can just steamroll right through him. Other characters in team doesn't have SPB. Oh, that might be a problem. You know what? Actually, depending on how long that dungeon's gonna be running for, I'd recommend waiting, building up some frogs, and trying to get SBB. That or go to Kagan Desert. Go to Mistral, go to Kagan Desert, and then it's the second when you look from the top to the bottom, it's the second one from the bottom. You click on that mission and you auto fight that the whole mission like a bunch of times, and you can get some fodder units, which those units have an attacking SBB, and those units with attacking SBBs, those units can actually deal, a good small portion of a BB gauge. Okay, this is weird to explain. So when you're at the home screen, there's there's quest, vortex gate, raid battle, arena, etc., etc. It's the very first one you see. It's the quest. Since you've already beaten, since this person who had the account already beat all the content, you click the top section that says Grand Gaia. You click the first mission area that says Mistral. Then it'll take you to St. Mami, I think. You scroll to the right, and then it takes you to Morgan. At the way bottom, you'll see a huge desert area called Kagan Desert. Now, let me stop this. You'll find an area called Kagan Desert, and in Kagan Desert, it's the second mission from the bottom because you get missions, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's gonna be the second one from the bottom, called Bandit of the Desert, I believe. That's the one you want to go for if you want to get quick fodder. Now, just keep in mind, the fodder units, they don't guarantee that you'll get a BB gauge. Each unit has a small chance of getting some bit of BB gauge. So this is weird because oh wow, I still have 20,000. I still have 20,000 points for STP. Yeah, so it'll be this part here, Grand Gaia and Mr. All, and click here, Kagan Desert, and it's this mission here, Bandit of the Desert. You want to click this now, and then you can click no helper, or you can click a helper. I usually click a helper because I need honor points as well. And then there's this, quest repeat settings button. Basically, you want to take your energy and divide it by 5, whatever the base number is. So, like, for my case, I have 296 energy. So I take 295 divided by 5. That'd be 59 runs. So I would set the scroller. You can click and drag with your finger, but I'm using a mouse. And then you can, boom, 59 times. And then I could click on. And if you want to do more, then you can click, auto energy recovery. No, you click auto energy recovery, and then you can adjust the scale to your gems and how much you would want to spend. Auto continues. You don't want to use anything with auto continues. Don't touch this one. Keep this on. Only keep this on when it's Super Karma Dungeon. And wave number display, keep this off. Make a team with Omniarch. Okay. See. We need to dig quickly back into here. Omniarch. So Omniarch. Then you'll get that unit from before, the first team I made for you. She's the Earth chick. Her name's Felis. And Cardes. And Sigurd. He's a light unit. I'm not sure if you have 2 Sigurds or if that's a Melchior there. But you want to get Sigurd. So you want to have Arc Lead, Sigurd, Cardes, Felis. Arc doesn't have to be lead. Okay. So I have some of your units too. So let me just slap together the team then. Go by element. Put an arc in best one of my best team. Okay, so if you just want a team that's built to be really, really good. Let's see. Where's my Lucius? Am I going crazy? Well, Lucius. Okay, so I'm gonna get Lucius. Then you want to get your arc, wherever your arc is, because I can't see. Okay, so in the Azerite team, if you don't want him to be lead, whoopsies. If you don't want Azerite to be lead, you could technically replace Azerite, the Azerite lead, for Karna because he's, Karna's really good. I can't see. Oh, there he is. Arc. Ellie. I don't think Lucius has Spark on BB. Cardes. Let me see here. What does Filian have? Oh yeah, never mind. So you don't need Felis then, because Lucius has Spark on BB, so technically this free space can be plopped out by anybody. Not much to really work with. So I guess you can technically just slap an Alza. And yeah. So this is the team that I'd highly recommend. Not sure if it's any good, but this is it. This is the team. So I'm already looking at your stuff. You already have these units. Basically I have Filian, the Earth Chick, Lucius, Arc, Alza, and then Cardes. Now the reason I'm using Lucius as lead is because you need, well, technically you could replace either or with Lucius or Alza in this case. Technically, you can actually replace with any lead really here, because Alza has, yeah, so technically you can switch between Alza and Lucius for the leads here. It really doesn't matter which one you pick. It's like, you pick um, you pick Lucius if you just want to be more, well, not only damage dealing with the spark damage boost on leader skill, but if you want to have more BB gauge, if you want to have your BB gauges filled quicker, and if you want to have a slight more, you have a better damage reduction, a slightly better damage reduction, use Lucius. But if you want to have a very, very, very offensive, or defensive set, I mean, bottom left, she is Filian. And you have her, she is right next to, she's right next to your Zavalua, your Earth Zavalua. So, that's what I'd recommend on this team. And I still need to set up all my units here. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. I'm pretty much done. I'm already getting tired. So I'll make a video. You know what? Tomorrow it'll be afternoon video. Well, okay, that's a problem because if I make Friday the afternoon video, I'm gonna have to take a lot of time to build a team and test it and see if it'll work. Now, the only other problem I'm gonna have is making the team, or trying to get the stuff to work to officially make a good team. It's kind of subjective because it's like, who do you think is the best team? Like my other team, which isn't all these units, but actually it's more like, I just kind of put whomever on this team because I felt like this would be appropriate. I felt like this would work. I slapped a whole bunch of units on here. Okay. But technically, if you want, ooh. Okay, so give me 1 second. Now, yeah. Like, this is the team I usually use. Well, I use currently because this team's actually semi-powerful. Usually you can replace that Lancelot with Owen. Again, those are units that are limited edition. Well, Lancelot's limited. Owen's made available by Frontier Hunter. And I could make a team with Karna, Ark, and Azurai. Give me till tomorrow because right now I'm just completely beat. So tomorrow I'll make a very lengthy video discussing team building. Team building in the current meta, team building if you're free to play, team building if you have all the free to play units. I'll pretty much try to cover as much ground as I can. I can't really necessarily say if it'll be helpful because building a team in here again is very subjective because now we're getting a lot of units that just have really good effects, but their buffs really do overlap. So I'm gonna get started on team building tomorrow. I'll keep building teams. I'll make I'll try to use I'll reset all my elemental teams instead because I kind of wanted to have more mono element teams. Oh boy. I wanted to really just have again more mono elemental teams, but it seems like I'll have to reset a lot of my teams to actually try to accommodate for that video. Or I'll just reuse these first 4 spaces, 3, 2, 1, and 10. I'll try to use these to build some teams. Okay, so the Frontier Hunter stuff, it's not open today. It's going to be open later this month. But whenever you want to do, whenever Frontier Hunter comes out, which should be the 16th, 17th, 15th, whatever, it'll be this room. So that's in the green area. That's in Imperial Capital Randall. That's right here, Arcus Summoner Hall Survey Office. And you click this top one. This one's if you're in a guild. Well, this particular event is if you're in a guild. This is just open all the time. The more story you clear, the more other missions you clear, you can do that. The bottom one is just you can test your teams out, you can test the units and all that hoo and ha. So yeah, I'll get onto that. So yeah, that being said, that's it. Don't want to do much more because I am very tired and beat, because I just don't want to do much more. So see you all in the next one, guys. Again, I'll try to make that team building video. Can you show me what spheres I should use on each of my characters, or like the best one for those? Okay, I'll do that. I'll probably do that in the team building video. I'll tell you which spheres most likely you should use with a certain kind of unit. So I'll explain everything later. I'll explain everything in that video. I'll try to cover most things. I can't say I'll cover everything, but in that live stream, I'll try to cover more. So that's all for the day, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed, and see you on the next one, guys. Peace out.